All right, you're back. Let's see. Today we will start talking about scales, specifically the major scale. Last time we talked about the notes in music and what steps are, whole steps and half steps. Now we have to take those notes and we have to put them in sort of an order that is going to sound pleasing to the ear. That is where scales come in. The large majority of scales are 5 notes and 7 notes that are grouped together that sound good. They form a cohesive bunch of notes. The granddaddy of all the scales is the major scale. And you already know what the major scale is: do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That is the major scale. Sorry, I didn't sing it. Here is the recipe or formula for the major scale. The R stands for the root, and all scales have a root note. It's also called the key. It's also called the tonic, tonic, but the root is what the scale is based off of. W's, you may guess, is a whole step. H's, I know you know this one. If W's are whole steps, H's mean half steps. So the formula for the major scale is root, whole, half, whole, half. Not that hard to remember, and it'll do you a lot of good. Let us use that and make some scales. Here's the keyboard again. So let's just say, what is the C major scale? That's what we're going to figure out today. Well, we take the major scale formula, root, whole, half, whole, half, and let's start working on the C major scale. The first note in the C major scale would be the R, the root, and that is the C. Very good. Whole step from C, 2 keys, skip C sharp, is D. Whole step from D is E. Half step from E, just 1 key, is F. Whole step from F is G. Whole step from G is A. Whole step from A is B. And the half step brings us back to the root, which is C. Very nice. Now, why would I use the key of C as the first example? The same reason everybody does. There are no black keys in the group of in the key of C. How easy is that? There are no sharps, no flats. Basically, you could play a C note and any other white key along with it, and it'll sound just fine. Some will sound better than others, but there's no wrong key. Go ahead and hit 2 at a time or 3 at a time. It'll be okay. Why? Because all the white keys are notes within the C major scale. It's foolproof. Here's an example. Yeah, pretty awesome, right? All right, here is a key concept for you. Every major scale will have every letter represented in order. No letter is used twice. Now, maybe one of the letters will be sharp or flat, or maybe a bunch will be, but you will never see the same letter twice within a scale. You will never see D to D sharp. You'll never see that. You will take that D sharp, look at the keyboard, and we will reference that note as E flat. So that is something that is a key concept for you to understand. Every letter will be there in order. All right, next example. Let's do another scale. How about the G major scale? The root is G. Whole step from G is A. Whole step from A is B. Half step from B is C, just 1 key over. Whole step again is D. Whole step again is E. Whole step from E, 2 keys, skip F, go up to F sharp. And the half step brings us back to the root of G. So why is G major the second example? Because it only has one black key. Same thing. You could play the note G over and over again and hit any other white key. The only difference is you're substituting F sharp instead of F. Ta-da! That's just me hitting random notes with G. So there you go. One more example. How about D major? All right, we'll do this one quicker. D is the root. Whole step from D is E. Whole step is F sharp. Whole step from, half step from F sharp is G. Whole step is A. Whole step is B. Whole step is C sharp. And the half step brings us right back to D. Why is D major? The third example, because it has two black keys in it. The third easiest scale to sort of know. All right. Now, I know you're getting the picture. You can figure out any major scale at this point, even a sharp key like F sharp. Let's figure out the major scale for F sharp. F sharp is the root. Whole step is G sharp. Whole step is A sharp. Half step is B. Whole step is C sharp. Whole step is D sharp. Whole step from D sharp is E sharp. Stick with me for a second, I'll explain it. And the half step from E sharp brings us back to the root of F sharp. Now, it's a little crazier looking, but it is correct. Why is the seventh note E sharp? There's no key labeled E sharp on the piano. A whole step from D sharp is F, right? I mean, there's an F key sitting right there. Well, here's the deal. Because every letter must be represented in the scale, and F sharp is already in there. The F is taken up with F sharp as the root. We call that note E sharp. We call the F E sharp, even though it's really F. They are enharmonic. All letters are accounted for. Remember, every letter will be represented in order, no repeats. So that's an extreme example, but it is correct. And with that, lesson 2 is done.